We all wish we could bring our Disney vacation home with us, right? To have that Disney feeling every day? Well, why not start your day the Disney way with a Disney blend from Joffrey's Coffee and Tea Company? With over 23 varieties to choose from the French bistro you find in your resort room to the Yachtsman Steakhouse and Gico, of course, and now Joffrey's newest Disney blend, Le Cellier. Why not start your day with that Disney magic? Order yours today at joffreys.com.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
Please board quickly and safely. Our monorail will be departing momentarily. Thank you.
Hey everybody, welcome to ResortLoop.com. I'm your host, Bob Collar. I've kind of hijacked the show today because my son and I just got done watching Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and we were just so excited we had to get this show out to talk about it because, wow, what a movie. Bobby, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Tim is busy doing Tim things. No, I don't know what he's doing. But we really were excited about Guardians and wanted to talk about it. He hasn't seen the movie yet, so we're not going to do any spoilers for this.
No.
But this is just it is such a good movie, and in a lot of cases, sequels just aren't as good as the original. What did you think of this one compared to the original?
I like this one more than the original, but kind of like in the way, like I like the second Avengers more than the first one because you can see him starting. Like, I don't know what it is with Marvel movies, but I love the costumes. I just love how they look. And for example, like in the Avengers, Captain America's costume is really kind of, it looks just like how it looks in the comics.
Right.
And like that was cool, but you want to see kind of a new take
on
these characters,
yeah.
you know, and like the way that they interact and, you know, their costumes, for example. And I liked how they did that with Guardians. It's like you feel like you know the character more.
Right.
You know, their mannerisms like change and like they start, like it feels like the actors become more comfortable in their skin. That's kind of what I'm saying.
Right.
So that's what I like about Marvel sequels, you know, not just Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, but like Avengers Age of Ultron and all of them. I like that the actors tend to act more like their character than they do. It feels like they're kind of uncomfortable with their character in the first movie compared to the second. So that's why I like the second, because it feels like they're more, you know, in tune with their characters.
Right, absolutely. So Guardians 2, I'll give you what the press release from Marvel Studios was. It says, set to the backdrop of awesome mixtape number 2, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 continues the team's adventures as they traverse the outer reaches of the cosmos. The Guardians must fight to keep their newfound family together as they unravel the mysteries of Peter Quill's true parentage. Of course, Peter Quill is Star-Lord, Chris Pratt. Old foes become new allies, and fan-favorite characters from the classic comics will come to our heroes' aid as the Marvel Cinematic Universe continues to expand. And you see a lot of new characters in this from a lot of the Marvels.
Yeah.
And very exciting. There seems to be a theme with a character that's been showing up quite a bit in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. We're not going to spoil that or tell anybody who that is, but kind of excited to see how that all plays out. But here's what Chris Pratt says about where we're at in regard to where the Guardians kind of are in this movie, and especially kind of touches on this newfound family feel to the Guardians.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 picks up just a couple of months after the events of the first movie, so it's very much a continuation of that story, and we find Peter Quill, a.k.a. Star-Lord, in that role he adopts at the end of the movie, which is the guy who's going to take care of this band of misfits and be the quote-unquote leader of this group of heroes. And so that's what we find him doing. Still having to deal with with Rocket and the way he is, and Drax and all of the characters the way that they are. He's taken a bit more of a leadership role and is just a inkling more responsible at the beginning of this movie than he was at the beginning of the last movie.
So there he is. He's him and Rocket have a little bit of a
yeah, they butt heads a little bit. Yeah,
a little bit. Yeah, but they did in the first movie. But now they're almost kind of in the one scene. They're kind of trying to see who's going to be in charge.
Yeah, they're kind of rivals in a way.
A little bit. Yeah.
Rocket has that kind of like competitive, always has to be the best kind of personality.
Right. So very excited. The other character, all the other characters are still there, and kind of an interesting interaction between Yondu and Rocket.
Yeah.
Toward the end of the film, very insightful. It's a lot deeper movie than I was expecting.
Yeah, it's not all comedy, and I noticed that with Marvel movies recently, like pretty much starting from Age of Ultron through Civil War, and now with Volume 2. Marvel movies have been like very, very like incredibly lighthearted in the past, but they're starting to like kind of, as we get towards Infinity Wars, the new one that's coming out in it's something like 2019 or it's like in a few years, so we got some time, but they're starting to go towards a direction where they're kind of saying this is getting serious now, like, I don't want to give away any spoilers, but something big's gonna happen and things need to change for this big thing to happen.
Right.
So a lot of things are getting more emotional and getting more there's a little bit more conflict than there used to be, which is fine,
Right.
But it's not as incredibly happy as it used to be.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Marvel's taken a little bit darker approach, delving more into the characters and their past. And in this particular movie, you are going to find out some secrets of Star-Lord's past.
Mm-hmm.
Not a spoiler, but of course we're very excited. I'm very excited. I always like seeing Kurt Russell in Disney movies.
Yeah.
He's back and making another, I guess you could call it a Disney movie, even though it's a Marvel movie. And I just really like Kurt Russell as an actor. I always thought he was really great. I loved seeing him when I was growing up as the teen in all the Disney movies, and he's back. Well, we'll let him explain why he took this role.
I got very excited about it because I thought that there was great opportunity here to not just do something that was entertaining in the form that I'd been watching it in, but there was a father-son relationship here that I thought was very relatable and very interesting, that 20, 30 years, 40 years from now will sustain more than just the entertainment value of what the viewer is watching and taking in.
So Kurt Russell, with this role, he seems to think that this is going to stand the test of time, and I agree. I think there is a great father-son connection there. I know you and I, when we watched it, it was a very touching moments in there. Multiple times there were some touching moments in that film for a father-son. So great father-son movie, by the way.
Unfortunately, a little short-lived, but I don't want to give anything away.
We're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about that. But here's what, and I'm not just a fan of Kurt Russell. Chris Pratt is a fan of Kurt Russell, and here's what he had to say about working with Kurt Russell.
The guy is legitimate. He's a legit stud. Was a professional baseball player. He's a pilot. He, a father of many well-adjusted kids. He's a fisherman and a hunter and an outdoorsman. I mean, he's like, I asked him if he'd be my dad in real life, and I'm still waiting to hear back.
Now I'm too old for Kurt Russell to be my dad, but I wouldn't mind hanging out with him. What a cool guy, and Chris Pratt, a cool guy as well. impressions of the movie, Bobby, from a young young man who loves the Marvel movies.
I liked it. I don't know that much about the Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, I know, I don't want to brag, but I know a good deal about the Avengers and stuff, so naturally I'm going to like them a lot more. But I like the direction that they took and how it was a like perfect mix between like comedy and, you know, kind of serious like action moments.
Right.
It was a good mix of everything. You know, there was romance, there was comedy, there was action, there was adventure, there was just a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
So I really, really like the movie. I can't say I liked it more than some of the Avengers movies, but I really, really liked it. And I can't wait to see the Guardians in Infinity Wars. That's going to be awesome.
Right. I love this movie. This may be one of my favorite Marvel movies that they've put out so far. I think a lot of it because of that dynamic that the Kurt and Chris alluded to.
Yeah.
You got to go see this movie. It is so much fun. There's a lot more to it than your typical action movie. I think there's an awful lot going on there. Kind of interesting way they ended it with the other alien culture and whatever that means going on there.
Yeah, that's why I say I don't know that much about it, so I can't be like, all the endings, you know,
it
crazy.
Makes so much sense.
I have no idea what the ending is talking about.
Right.
You know.
But here's what Chris Pratt says for you guys to expect in this upcoming movie.
What I'm really hoping for is that they'll get exactly what they got in the first movie, but in a completely different way. I expect that people are going to get what they want, but they're not going to get what they expect. And what they want is to go have a profound, life-changing experience at the movies. And they will, but it's not going to be what they expect. It's going to be different than they expect, just like the first movie was. It's going to knock their socks off.
And I agree. He's exactly right. It's not what you're going to typically expect, like I said, out of an action-adventure movie. It takes some twists and turns that you really didn't see coming.
Yeah.
There's some new faces, new stars that you're going to get to see in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Volume 2. Some new tech that comes out, which is kind of cool, and so many great personal dynamics going on within the entire thing between Star-Lord and Rocket and Rocket and Groot, and I mean there's just so many incredible there's so many buddy things going on in this thing.
And a few guest appearances.
From
other Marvel comic characters. I don't want to give anything away, but
there you go.
Kind of funny. They're funny ones.
So very exciting. You guys got to go see Guardians of the Galaxy and enjoy it. And it's just it's a really, really good movie. Can't say enough about it. And hopefully we didn't spoil anything for anybody. And hope you guys get out to see the movie. We'd love to hear what you guys have to say about the film. So, Bobby, thanks for joining us on
you're welcome.
On this show. And get out. As we're recording this show, we don't have the numbers yet as far as what it did box office-wise, but I think it's going to be yet another huge movie for Disney and Marvel.
Definitely. Whenever there's a Marvel movie, you know that it's going to be a box office blast.
There you go. There you go. All right. Well, thanks for listening, folks. As Tim would say, find us all over social media. You guys know where to find us. And that's ResortLoop.com or ResortLoop. Search us out. You'll find us. And as Tim says, you've been listening to The Gateway to the Magic. See you, everybody. Thanks for listening to the show. But now you want to share your love of Disney, right? Unfortunately, a lot of our friends, family, and coworkers just don't share the same enthusiasm we do for all things Disney. Well, now MyDizMatch.com has made it even easier with the all-new MyDizMatch apps for iOS and Android devices. Just download the MyDizMatch app and connect with new Disney friends today. And now, for a limited time, you'll get your first month of full membership free just for signing up. Look for the new MyDizMatch apps on iTunes and Google Play and start connecting with real Disney friends today.